So here, guys, I want to show you how I use AstroGold app for figuring out when is the exact ingress of a planet into sign. For example, I know that Pluto went into Aquarius around 19th-20th of November, so here I calculate a chart for a specific day, November 19th, 2024, and then here you can choose minutes, hours, or days. Let's say if I do a day plus 1 day, so you see that Pluto is already moving forward, and here 18th, it's not yet in Aquarius, so I'll keep 19 for now. If you don't know the exact day, you can kind of Google of when approximately it goes into a sign. Depending on the time zone, it could be within 1 day. And so here I'll keep fine-tuning it, so I'll choose hours for now, and I'll keep going an hour back, and see here it changes, so I'll change for minutes, and then I'll go forward now, and you see like I kind of found when it's switching to Aquarius. So here is when is the time in Vancouver and LA, like Pacific time, when Pluto went into Aquarius. You can either take a screenshot of this, that's how I do it in my iPhone, or you can save here natal data, new chart, and you can keep transits, for example, Pluto in Aquarius, and I usually put which time, like Pacific time or VC for Vancouver, or some other time zone depending what you're looking for. Just don't change any time here, keep it as it is, because we already calculated the chart. So here you click save, and make sure when you click save, and then you need to choose my charts. I used to have almost 1,000 charts, but I lost it unfortunately here. Like, keep in mind, this is not forever, like you can lose charts. Like, I've lost a couple of times my charts, so do have a backup. So I'm not going to save again because I already saved it. If you want to put a star on it, you will see it in my favorites. I'm not going to do it. So, and that's how you will have it. And I'll take a screenshot for myself just for a tutorial. So here we see that Pluto is activating 6th and 12th house axis. Something unconscious, something hidden could be expected in the next years coming up in Vancouver, or for Pacific time, kind of like on the west coast. So yeah, we can look at the chart of the moment even for this and try to predict some things. Aspects will be the same for people all around the world. It's just how the planets are positioned in the chart will be different, because the moment is the same. It's just like how much time it was at a specific place is different. And so everyone will have an opposition between Mercury and Jupiter in this chart. Here in Vancouver, it falls on the cusp of the 5th house, especially in equal house system. If you practice astrology, you can use this chart to see like what this moment means collectively and personally. If you overlay it on your natal chart, you can also see like where those planets are falling onto my natal chart. For example, I have Venus at 4° Aries, and so like North Node is conjunct, interestingly, my natal Venus. Mars is in a nice trine to it, so I could expect maybe a theme of relationships activated more. I would say even karmic relationships in the next 20 years. And there is also Saturn on the cusp of the 2nd house here, so which could indicate that in general, collectively, for people who are born in this Pacific time zone and who live there, that somehow, for cities as well, collectively, for countries like Canada and US, for example, they have Pacific time in many places, right? So that theme of Saturn on the cusp of the 2nd house, and I'll show you why I am looking at it. So if you go and change the house system to equal house system, So you will see here that Saturn is on the cusp of the second house, and it's in a sextile to Venus, but Venus is in Capricorn, and they are kind of like in mutual reception by the sign in a way, because I take like Venus is exalted in Pisces and Saturn is very strong. It's the ruler of Capricorn, so they sort of are connected through those signs. Like they are not completely uncomfortable there, even though they are not in the sign of strength for themselves, but if they cooperate, they can be together. So possibly countries like Canada and US, for example, might be dealing with the question of debt, like debts of countries. And it can also be something about nomadic movement, in my opinion, and immigration, because what has been happening recently is that many people from North America were immigrating to Mexico and some places in Latin America, Asia, and Europe. Especially Portugal and Mexico are popular, for example. And I was pretty sure, like, as soon as Saturn will get closer to Neptune, and they were in the end of Pisces, here in this chart as well, but basically it happened in early 2025, and in the end of May, Saturn went into Aries, so it started a big cycle of 29-30 years from the first sign of zodiac, Aries, right? And I thought that because they will be in a conjunction for quite a while, we will probably have a slowdown of nomadic movement. I'm kind of jumping to another topic, like already telling about Saturn and Neptune, but I was pretty sure that there will be some restrictions for visas, for nomads, and for immigration. We can see that Moon also is moving to the opposition with Pluto, and so it will happen. Like I usually take like a principle from Horary, like the amount of degrees between planets, and in this case it's 9.5 degrees. So you can take them either as in this case months or years. I would probably go more towards years. Like something will happen from that moment. I still think like even days, weeks, and months are important. There will be event related to that. And I think we had elections, actually more like pre-electional dates, in 10 days from that. So it was kind of like a crazy time. But we can expect some kind of crisis related to people. Moon in Cancer especially, it's people and countries and food. So in 9.5 years, most likely even before that, 7 years or 8 years, there will be some kind of critical situation, collectively speaking. Also, the Sun is here on 28th degree of Scorpio, and Sun in Scorpio like is not like in the best ever position, even though it's in a trine with Neptune, which can help to in some healing or something, like collectively. And also there is a sextile to Pluto still, because Sun is gonna go out of in 2 years. Basically Sun will get to Sagittarius, and so things might be a bit easier in terms of relation to Pluto. That's just the method which I'm developing, guys, predicting using degree difference and positions of planets. So I'm progressing in a way the chart. It's not even progressions like in terms of, I think it's more of a principle of solar arc directions, which I use here, and Horary astrology, but basically that's just my method of predicting from a chart of the moment. So I've tested this method a lot and it seems to be working. So yeah, if you got the idea, you can try it on your own, and maybe I'll create a separate video on that. Anyway, so we can see that there is some kind of crisis probably in 10 years. I would say 8, 9.5 years more. How long it will last, it's hard to say, but there will be some challenge. And also Moon is moving to Mars, and theoretically in 13 years, 13 and a half, there could be some kind of a situation when, like, maybe it's a creativity boost as well, could be also more sports or something, could be something related to like efficiency or business even in some way. I'm curious to see how it would develop, but that's still in opposition to Pluto of this chart. So yeah, like that, there could be ambitious action with one country against the other as well. So what else we can see here? So I also see, like, for example, there's still a square between Saturn and Jupiter, so that's a bit challenging. Applying, interestingly, because Jupiter is moving backwards, but it will go direct at some point, and so maybe that square will not be exact, like if to progress it. That's just what I wanted to show you, how to calculate ingress of a planet into a sign.